This is a custom-built Lego airplane, and I just threw it into my pool. Well, actually, I did say 4 years ago. But why? I needed parts for this. It looks the same, but it's better. And today's video is all about it. You're probably wondering how I built this. Well, it's gotten pretty much everything you wanted to have, like moving flaps, moving ailerons, moving both up and down. You can drive it if you want to. And you can even open the doors. They are a little bit of a pain to open though. And now you can safely enter with a staircase. The interior can be accessed by removing the roof. It's got a full interior from the cockpit all the way down to the back of the final toilets and the galley area. And my personal favourite of all, it's got functional landing gear. This is amazing, isn't it? And as a final bonus, I added lights to this model. Last but not least, I just wanted to show how sturdy it actually is. Obviously, it will have its weak points just like any other MOC, but surprisingly, you can pick it up many different ways and it will hold up fairly well. So, how did I actually build this? Well, like I said, I did so 4 years ago. So all I've got right now are very few pictures and a low quality time-lapse. And I don't want to hurt your eyes, so instead, I prepared a few clips of some recent upgrades. And we'll look at those in a minute, but I do want to point out, if you really want to know how I've built this step by step, I did put out instructions so you can follow it step by step, and it is unrebreakable. It will be linked in the description and probably the comments, so feel free to check it out. Anyway, I do think we should start with the lights. Some stuff actually did not go right with them. As example, this taillight shouldn't even be blinking. So let's take off the parts and fix this problem. We do need to be careful with this wire. I'll show why later. Let's take out the wire from the tail now. Now we just need to take the wire carefully out of every piece. Yeah, this is careful innit? Once we've taken the wire out of all of the parts, you can see how tiny and fragile these are. Plus they're ridiculously expensive, which is why I need to be so careful. Now we just need a new light, and this car has some more lights I can use. Let's take it out of the light, shall we? All we need to do now is carefully remove the wire. Oh well. Here's the wire. Let's put it back in. Now, how do we do this quickly? There we go. Let's assemble everything again. This is... I don't know why I messed this up. I just did. And there we go. Everything is back together, and the light no longer blinks. The next problem are these two red lights. I'm not sure if you can tell, but these two aren't synchronized anymore, and that just really pisses me off. If I take off the roof, I can show you what I think the problem is. As you can see, I used these connectors so that I can easily take off the roof, but I think this just might be the problem. However, to fix this, I need to take apart the entire plane. That was easy, wasn't it? I didn't record what I did, but I just took off the light from the roof, put it on this pillar, and made a hole in the roof like you see over here. This allows me to slide the roof over, yet I do not need to use those connectors anymore. Now let's test if it actually fixed the problem. Doesn't seem like it though. To understand what actually went wrong, let's open it up. This is the pre-programmed board you're seeing to make lights blink. You've got output 1 and output 2. My mistake was connecting both of them to ports in output 1. Every port has a different set of timing, so it just didn't time right. So to fix this, I need to use both of the outputs. This time it did fix the problem, so that leaves me very satisfied. Though we are not done yet. The interior lights are in fact so bright that they go just right through the roof. And that just looks hideous. To fix this, I want to use this dimmer control board. When you spin it, it just turns up the lights, or it turns them down. However, I can't put it just like I've done here, because that just turns off all of the lights, and I don't want that happening. To avoid this, I decided to break the circuit of the roof and hide the dimmer control board somewhere I know it is, but you can't see it. This way I can turn up or off the light level of the interior individually. Next up is this. It simply is a display stand to put your plane at an angle as if it is taking off. But because of that angle, it wants to fall backwards. So I needed extra weight. These batteries are too messy though. Instead, I decided to use copper. Copper is in fact so heavy, I only needed one copper brick. And with that additional weight, the plane suddenly is a lot more stable. As a bonus, here's a clip with the lights on. Now you might think this is very unstable and that was my first fall too, but it actually held up perfectly fine 3 days long at a public show, so I think it is just gonna be about fine. Now since I've built this model almost 4 years ago now, you might be wondering what am I going to do with it? Well, if you're here from the earlier days on my channel, then you will have noticed I haven't uploaded for a considerable amount of years. And I've got a simple answer for that. You know, as the years go by, life moves on. I got out of school, I got a job, I got new hobbies. But to be honest, both content creation and LEGO still have a little place in my heart, so I've not forgotten about it. This does not mean, however, that my love and passion for LEGO planes is still the same. So this does mean if I ever need the parts for some different stuff, I might as well just throw it out of the window or something. Now before I do that, I highly recommend you have a look at it in Rebrickable. Even if you just like my mock over there, that will help me out a lot, because you cannot imagine how much time it's taken to make digital instructions. And you know, if you want to, you can build the plane yourself. There's a parts list and everything, so who knows, you might just have the parts laying around anyway. Anyway, with all of this said, I will probably catch you another time. Maybe.